Hello guys, as I had promised, today I'm going to talk about variables. What are variables and how we can use it. Today I have also prepared a PPT or PowerPoint presentation. We can use it. So first of all, we will write our code. Then we will use our PPT to just understand what variables are. So we will start writing code hash include UStream, right? Using namespace svd main function into your main. So this is our program and we have not done anything yet. So we will go for understanding the concept of variables. So we'll use ppt. Variables. What are variables? Actually, variables are like a bucket. In real life, we use a bucket to store something in. In the programming, we use variables to keep value, to store value. So in the second point, variables used to reference a location in memory where the value is stored. So actually it's pointing a location in the memory where the value is stored. And the next one is the first one. Variable has name and type of data it can hold. Okay, name and type of data. For example, if you're going to go here, I'm going to declare a variable just to understand what is the data type and what is the name of the variable. For example, I'm going to write integer a. It can be integer a only. Integer is a data type and a is the name of variable. Integer is a data type and a is the name of variable. For now, a can hold a value. What value? Integer value only, not something else. A can hold a value. A can store a value. What value? Integer value only. The variable has a specific property that we have to understand that. So we will go with ppt. The third one, variable must be defined before it can be used. Variable must be defined. For example, now here, if I do not understand, if I do not declare a, I cannot use cout. For example, I am going to just remove this one. I will write cout a and return 0. Okay, if I compile this one, it will give an error. A will not be understood. Why? Because nowhere we have defined what a is. So when I compile it, so a is not declared. A here, see the error, a was not declared in this scope. So it means we have to declare a variable before we can use it. How I can declare? Integer a. Now I can use a. If I compile this one, it will not give any error, right? But we don't know about the output. Output is something we have not given any output here. See, the fourth one, the value can be changed during the program. The variable value can be changed during the program. This, if a new value is assigned to the previous value, the previous value will be overwritten and cannot be retrieved. If I give a value, the previous value will be removed. For example, I'm writing here a is equal to 10, right? Cout, or it will give 10. Now, if I give a is equal to 12, 10 will not be retrieved, and 10 is swapped, or swap not changed to 12. If I now see out the value of a, then it will be, first of all, this will print 10, and second one will print 12. Oh, sorry, compile and run. Compile and run. Oh, sorry, an error. You have to, sorry, compile and run. Okay, did you see? Now I don't want this to be printed. First I have given 10, and I have given 12. So it will take the last value and will file and run. The 10 will not be printed. The output is 12 only. Okay, and we will use an equal operator to assign value to the variable. See, we have given this operator to we cannot write something like this. 12 is equal to a. It is completely wrong and it gives error. To assign a value to a variable, the variable name should come the left in equal operator and then the value, right? So the next one is okay, variable is finished. Then we go with literal or constant. Constants are the data items whose value does not change during the program execution. So variable value will change during the program execution, but the literal or constant will not change during the program execution. So it can be a character, can be a string, it can be an integer, or it can be a floating point, right? That's identifiers. What do identifiers means? Identifiers actually are the name of the variable. Name of the variables are called identifiers. What programmers choose a name to represent part of the programming, like variable names. Identifiers not only variable names, it can be many things. That what programmers choose a name. Programmers choose a name to present part of the programming, like variable names. For identifiers, there are some rules. Everything cannot be identifiers, right? So what are the rules? Identifiers should not use C++ keyword as identifiers. So there are already, or I say, predefined words in C++. So those predefined or keyword cannot be the name or cannot be identifiers. The name should indicate the use of identifiers. The name, for example, if I write here integer a, I will not write a integer age to store the age of someone. Integer age is actually an identifier, and it specifies that it will be storing someone's age. For giving the name, identifiers must begin with alphabet or underscore followed by alphabet. So identifiers must start with only alphabet or underscore. It cannot be started with numbers. Identifiers cannot start with numbers or cannot contain period and dollar sign, right? So identifiers cannot start with number, cannot contain period or dot or a dollar sign. For example, if I write here integer 4b, so then it will give an error. For sure it will give an error. Why? Because I have started the variable name by number. Compile and run. See, expected unqualified ID before numeric constant. Or if I write this one b dot b, it will give an error. Of course, it will give an error because dot is used. Dot is not allowed. Cannot store with the name. Cannot contain dot and dollar sign, right? Or I can, if I use dollar sign, then it will give an error. Compile and run. So it's giving dollar sign, right? Okay. Then we will go for the next one is integer data type. Integer data types are used to store numbers only. If you deal with number, you have to declare integer data type. Integer data type, there are two types of integer data type, by size or by sign. By size, it can be short, integer and long. By sign, it can be signed and unsigned. My advice will be to you, if you do not deal with negative number, then just specify unsigned, because you do not deal with negative numbers and all are okay. The size of integer is less than equal to long integer and greater than equal to short integer. C++ allocate 1 bit per sign if you do not deal with negative numbers and mention unsigned while initializing the variables. When you initialize a variable, if you do not mention unsigned, then it will be using the sign 1 and it will allocate 1 bit for sign of the number. If you do not deal with negative number, you always use unsigned. A variable is signed until and unless the unsigned keyword is used. Okay, so here okay, let's use this one. For example, integer a, and then a is equal to 20. Sorry, cout. I will write the age is equal to a, or a. Now it will give the output. Compile. Sorry, I have to write age here. Compile and run. Or age. The age is 20. Now, if I initialize any other number, integer, for example b, and b is equal to 30 or minus 30, I will use minus 30, and here I will use cout /in the value of, I will print the value of b, right? Compile and run. Sorry, I'm very sorry for these errors. I forget to mention. See, minus 30, because we have not declared here sign or unsigned. If you do not mention it, it will be signed. And if we do not deal with negative number, we always must use unsigned key. So now it will not give output. See, if I print this one, it will give some random value. See here, it is giving random value. So if I unsigned, then I should not use negative number, then it will giving me the correct value. See, 30 is there. So if you do not deal with negative number, always mention unsigned. And if you deal with negative number, do not mention this one. Do not mention anything signed or unsigned. Just directly integer variable name. Then you can use negative and positive. Okay. For defining variables, okay, let's move next one. Defining variables. Variable with the same data type can be defined in a separate statement as well as in the same statement. For example, integer length, integer weight, or it can be, so if our data type is same, we can write the same statement like this: integer length, comma, weight. Just a comma will separate the integer name. Okay, and also we can write like this. But if a variable is a different data type, then we have to mention it or define in a separate statement. I will here use this one. I will remove this all. Since I deal with same number with numbers, I can with integer I can use, for example, age, comma, moon, or I can use height. Or I can define separately. Integer age is separate, or integer moon is separate, or integer height is, sorry, your height is separate. You can use both, but if you have a different data types, then you have to mention or define in a separate statement. For example, if one is integer age, and the next one is name is different, and then you have to type string name, right? If it's different data type. Or if you deal with decimal points, then you have to use float, or for example height can be a decimal point. So here in, for example, integer length, integer weight, it can be the same statement, or it can be different statement, doesn't matter at all. Float data type, float designed to hold numbers with decimal points like 12, 12.43, 45. See, decimal points, decimal data types can hold integer, but if you store a decimal point in integer, it will give the real value, not the decimal value. And in the floating point, numbers are all signed, available in different size, float, double, and long double. And if floating point value is assigned to integer, the fraction part will be removed. Okay, come to this one. For example, I have float a, then I initialize a is equal to for example 12.45, right? And now I'm going to see the output is going to a. Okay, let's compile and run it. See, it's coming 12.45, but if I initialize integer b, then b is equal to a. It means I put the value of a into b. A is float, b is integer, then I print c out b. So the fraction part will not come, only the real values will come. Okay, see, 12.45, and then this is 12. Let me separate this one by new line. I will write c out /n, right? We had work on this. Oh, sorry. Compile and run. See, this is the value of a, and this is the value of b. We assign values of a into b, and because b is an integer, the fraction part will not come. Okay, so today we worked on integer, or first of all variables, integer and data types, or float data types. If you like this video, please like, share, comment, and please subscribe to my channel to get notified, and also press the bell button to get notified when I upload a new video. On the next video, I will work on character data type, string data types as well. String data types, we have more works to do with strings, so please do not forget to subscribe to my channel, like my videos, and press the bell button to get notified when I upload a new video.